Hello everyone, this is Jim Okerzinski with an instructional video on the research essay, both the first draft and for the final. So I begin in the chapter 4 module here. Just want to click into the research essay assignment. I did upload an example of the research essay here in the assignment, and I'll come back to that a little bit later. Moving back to the module, the first item I want to discuss in this instructional video is the principles of citation. So I have here 3 principles of citation that really are the bedrock of how we work with sources in academic writing. So you have to introduce your sources as principle number 1. It's like somebody coming into a room. We, the reader, need to know exactly who the speaker is, whether it's your writing or it's from source material. Um, whether it's a quote, a paraphrase, or a summary, where did that information come from? So it's just like somebody coming into a room. You have to introduce that individual to everybody. In other words, your audience. So you have to determine, who is the author of your source. If you do not have an author in a source and you're using material, then you have to refer to the container, which in many instances would be the web page or an article. So you have to show also principle number 2, the starting and ending points clearly for the material you draw on. We as the readers and as instructors need to know where a speaker starts, okay, and ends, and then where you pick up and where you leave off for a specific source material. So here is an MLA example right here. Here is the lead-in sentence to your information. You always have to have some sort of a lead-in, providing some context for your source information, quotes or paraphrases. So here you have the sentence, some prominent economists warned that the Obama administration was moving our nation dangerously close to social models. That's the lead in. Now here you're announcing the speaker. Octavio Peroni, research fellow of super economy think tank, pointed to the rapid increasing federal ownership stake in the largest banks. Peroni feared this trend would continue until no clear distinction remained between federal and private institutions. So here is the closing of the endpoint, which is the parenthetical. If you have a source that is paginated, like a article through the library, there's going to be a page number where that information comes in, and that's how you show the ending point. Now, this does not have any quotation marks, so therefore it must be a paraphrase, and we are using the author's name as giving credit, right? So we always talk about authors and what they're saying in the present tense. So then you would also provide some context afterwards and continue the conversation. In response, administration officials said that, and then you would explain your source information. So let me be clear in how we work with sources. You have to provide some context. Then you have to provide the source information, and then you have to do something with that source information. You carry the conversation. You have to analyze it, evaluate what is the relevance to your research topic. It's kind of like the quote sandwich. I'm sure everybody over the course of their academic careers have heard about the quote sandwich. So you want to provide that. The quote, the paraphrase, the information is the meat. You need a top of the bun and a bottom of the bun. All right. Now, principle number 3 is also the cross reference. So if there is an Octavio Peroni here, if I go down to your works cited page, there has to be a Peroni Octavio here. And this is the article with the information and the link. So this is one of the reasons why we do the annotated bibliography and we format those citations. Those citations can be carried over from the annotated over to the research essay. So this is how we work with sources. Straightforward. Work with authors only. You want to engage with authors. It's easier to have a conversation with an individual than an article. Obviously, once again, if you have a source that does not have an author, then you have to work with the title. Let me say that, the title of the article or web page. So I want to run back real quickly to the module. Let me get to the research essay instructions and let me open up this particular example. Okay. So what we have here is that we have the opening, but I want everybody to really take a look at how this particular essay is organized, how it reads, how it sounds. Here you have a topic, sentence, and then you have some context. Okay, keeps on going into the next page, talking about a topic. Then you have source information here, senior partner at McKinsey and Company. Okay, goes all the way to here. All right, here's your source information. This is a paraphrase. No, here is a quote. All right, so we have quotation marks. And then once again, we have the conversation after the source information, working through that. Let me explain. The topic sentence sets the topic for that paragraph. Okay, here again, topic, sentence, and then source information. So the idea here is that you can get sources, put them in the conversation. You can let the source information help support your thinking in that paragraph. But the idea here is that the conversation, the topic of each paragraph is the driver, and you have to weave those together and weave the voices of the authors and their information support your research information. Here we have a situation where the source information is supported and basically covered in a sandwich just about every paragraph here. All right. So the idea, you may move from topic to topic that your sources refer to and talk about, but you have to weave the information from those sources into a paragraph structure. This is an essay format. So I just want to emphasize how this essay should read, as opposed to, this source says, and the announcing the article. I don't need the whole name of the article in a research essay. That's why we have a works cited page where we can cross-reference. So I want to make that distinction when it comes to the research essay. We've already completed, the annotated bibliography. I don't want to read an expanded version of an annotated bibliography for a research essay because it is just not an essay. I'm hoping I'm making myself clear on this. All right, so this is an instructional video about the citing of sources, weaving sources, building paragraphs, and organizing and writing the research essay. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please send me an email.